Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa wala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
I'd like to begin by wishing all the brothers Ramadan Mubarak, saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For indeed, this is a blessed month that we are in, and it is a great opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed us to live to see, and we should make the most of it. May Allah bless us to see the end of Ramadan and to achieve the greatest blessings in it. Allahumma ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, la'allakum tattaqun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says what is translated or interpreted to mean, O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you, as it has been prescribed upon those before you, that you may achieve taqwa, that you may be muttaqun, God-fearing and God-conscious. The meaning of taqwa, as Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, he asked Ubay bin Ka'b, what is taqwa? So Ubay radiallahu anhu, he answered him by saying, have you ever walked down a path of thorns? He said, yes. So he said, what do you do? He said, I pull my garment close to me so that the thorns don't prick me, don't stick to my garments, don't scratch me. He said, this is taqwa. So we learn from this that taqwa is being careful not to transgress the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And fasting is a means of achieving this taqwa. How is this done? When we fast, we are staying away from things that our body needs to survive. We're staying away from food, nourishment, drink, and staying away from other things as well. But these are the main things. We stay away from food, drink, this is what we say. And these are things that our body absolutely must have to survive, without which we would die. Without which we would fall into a coma, we would die almost immediately after a few days. So by staying away from these things that our body needs, must have, we are showing ourselves that we can also stay away from the things that our body does not need. What are these things? The sins. The things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us are harmful to us. The things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made forbidden for us to do, to say, to eat, to drink. Things that He is displeased with. Things that He and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has spoke against them, spoke about their harms. As one of the ulama of the past, he said that taqwa is doing good deeds for the sake of Allah, upon a light from Allah, and staying away from sins and evil deeds upon a light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said this is taqwa. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to achieve this a high level of taqwa in this Ramadan, and to make us better than we were before, and to increase us in our good deeds. Ameen. This blessed month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in so many opportunities for forgiveness. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is reported that he said, Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. That whosoever fasts Ramadan with iman and hoping for the reward, that all of his past sins are forgiven. And the Prophet ﷺ, he also said, Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. Whoever stands in prayer in Ramadan with iman, with belief and firm faith in his heart, and hoping for the reward, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. All of his past deeds are forgiven, or everything that came before. So these are just two of the many, many ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in this month specifically for us to achieve His pleasure, His ridwan, to get into His Jannah and to earn His favor. So we need to make use of these opportunities, inshaAllah ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Just want to make a brief comment on something that Abu Ibrahim, may Allah increase him, mentioned. There was a statement of one of the people of the past, if I'm not mistaken, it was Talq bin Habib, in which he said, when he was asked about taqwa, he says to do good deeds, perform the obedience of Allah, ala nurin min Allah, upon a light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a very important point that he mentioned. And that is, you can't have taqwa without knowledge. Without basic ilm, there is no piety, no God-fearingness. There's no fear in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And similarly, we apply this to the month of Ramadan. If you fast, if you make tarawih, read the Quran, do good deeds with inshallah, a good intention, but you don't have the basic vital knowledge, simple fundamentals of it, then you're wasting your time. So this is something that, alhamdulillah, most of us, if not all of us, we've learned the basic things. But a lot of times we need to solidify those things. A lot of times we need patchwork. The wall is there, but maybe a brick or two that's missing. Maybe it needs to be repainted. Okay? And this is from the hikmah of review and revision. And we mentioned this several times before. Abu Sa'id, what many of the Salaf they said, reviewing knowledge is the means, is the lifeblood of knowledge. That's the proper translation, the proper interpretation of that statement. Hayatuhu, it's life. Giving it life is reviewing ilm, reviewing information. So therefore, many of us don't know. Many of us are lacking in basic fundamental things. And some of us do know. But everyone, the student, the learned, the pupil, the master, the old and the young, realize that everyone needs review. It needs to put some grease on that wheel. So therefore, this is an opportunity. We explained the other day in Windsor, Connecticut, that the month of Ramadan is a month of balance. It's spirituality and it's also education. It's technical knowledge, information, it's also heart softening. Dhikr of Allah, thinking about your sins, crying, staying in the masjid, reading the Quran, making itikaf, but there's a balance, there's also ilm. They go together, they go hand in hand, there's no contradiction. Nothing, wallahi, nothing complements knowledge like spirituality. Nothing supports spirituality like knowledge. As Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, he said, مَا عُبِدَ اللَّهُ بِمِثْلِ الْفِقْهِ. He says, no one can possibly worship Allah with something better and more thorough than fiqh. So therefore, there's some Muslims, unfortunately, who have lack of balance. Some, all they're going to talk about is spirituality. No knowledge, no information. And there's some Muslims, all they want to speak about is facts and information, technicalities. And they ignore their hearts. They ignore the conditions of their hearts. Rather, that which is correct is the wasat. Ahl-Sunnah Jama'ah, they're wasat. So therefore, hopefully, tonight, will be the beginning of a series of classes, of lectures, of lessons. Which will go over the fiqh of fasting, first and foremost, some of the virtues of fasting, some of the things that are good for us to do in this month, some things that we should and must avoid during this month. And the book that I've selected for myself and for you brothers is one of my favorite books of hadith called Marjan fi Muttafaq alayhi Shaykhan. It's a book by an Egyptian scholar, Muhammad al-Baqi, who passed away some years ago. Okay, he was up in the 14th century, Islamically, in the 20th century, called Al-Lu'lu' wal-Marjan fi Muttafaqa alayhi Shaykhan. It's a book that you can render in English to mean pearls and corals. Pearls, Lu'lu' wal-Marjan, the corals. With the hadith that the two sheikhs have agreed upon, meaning the hadith that Bukhari and Muslim have both collected in their book. Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, the most authentic hadith. Inshallah. The most authentic hadith that are agreed upon by Bukhari and Muslim. So bi'idhnillah, as we take Kitab al-Siyam, Abu Ibrahim will begin reading for us, inshallah, in Arabic. We'll try to make some commentary on this book and get some minutes. Follow on.
قال الإمام الشيخ رحمه الله تعالى كتاب الصيام باب فضل شهر رمضان قال حدثنا أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل شهر رمضان فتحت أبواب السماء وغلقت أبواب الجهنم وسلسلة الشياطين أخرجه قال الحديث عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر رمضان فقال لا تصوموا حتى تروا الهلال ولا تفطروا حتى تروه فإن غم عليكم فاقدروا له. قال حديث ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الشهر هكذا وهكذا وهكذا يعني 30. ثم قال وهكذا 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 يعني 29.
First hadith, the author says, Kitab al-Siyam. He starts off with the virtue of the month of Ramadan. And from the wisdoms of his brothers and sisters is to understand, before you start studying something, or memorizing something, or performing something, it is important to understand the virtue of that thing. How special that thing is. What's so important about it? What are the rewards that you're going to get? What are the blessings, the barakat from Allah, Allah's mercy, by doing this act? Because you may come across another act of worship, or another field of expertise, which is better. I started off studying Hadith Sharia, the college of Sharia. Okay, then I learned there were more virtues in the college of Hadith. Sharia is beautiful, but Hadith has more, it's better. So it's very important, as the people of knowledge explain, before you study a thing, is to mention the fadl, the virtue of that thing, and also the importance of that thing. So the author mentions Babu Fadli Shahri Ramadan, the book of fasting, the chapter of the superiority, the excellence of fasting in the month of Ramadan. The first hadith the author says, Hadith Abi Hurairah. Is the hadith Abu Hurairah narrated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إذا دخل شهر رمضان فتحت أبواب السماء وغلقت أبواب جهنم وسلسلة الشياطين. When the month of Ramadan comes, the gates of heaven are opened, and the doors of hellfire are shut, and the demons are chained down. The demons are chained down. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he says when the month of Ramadan comes, the gates of heaven are opened up, the gates of hell are shut, and the demons are chained down. I want everyone to repeat after me, inshallah, all the brothers and sisters. Try your best, inshallah. Hadithu.
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 I can't hear you. I can't feel you. Hadithu.
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 Abi.
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 Hadithu Abi. I want everyone. If you're sitting down, and that means, if you come, you sat down in the lecture, then that means you come to learn. You didn't come for any other intention. Right? As Ibn Hazm rahimahullah explained, that it's impermissible for a person to come to a class or a lecture with the intention other than learning. An ill intention to test someone, to throw someone to this and to do that, is haram, impermissible. So therefore, all of you brothers, alhamdulillah, none of you come for that purpose, alhamdulillah. So if you come for the purpose of learning, then it's me being an instructor and you being a student, it is your right, or the right that I have upon you, that you participate in the class. Right? Right. Hadithu.
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 Abi.
Abi.
Hadithu Abi.
Hadithu Abi.
Hadithu Abi.
Hadithu Abi.
Hurayrata.
Hurayrata.
Hadithu Abi Hurayra.
Hadithu Abi Hurayrah.
Hadithu.
Hadithu
Abi Hurayra.
Abi Hurayrah.
Radiyallahu anhu.
Radiyallahu anhu.
قال
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 قال رسول الله
قال رسول الله
صلى الله عليه وسلم
صلى الله عليه وسلم
إذا
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 إذا دخل
إذا دخل
إذا دخل
إذا دخل
إذا دخل
إذا دخل
شهر رمضان
شهر رمضان
إذا دخل شهر رمضان
إذا دخل شهر رمضان إذا دخل شهر رمضان فتحت أبواب فتحت أبواب
السماء
السماء
أبواب السماء
أبواب السماء
فتحت أبواب السماء
فتحت أبواب السماء
فتحت
فتحت
أبواب السماء
أبواب السماء
وغلقت
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 أبواب
أبواب
وغلقت أبواب
وغلقت أبواب
جهنم
جهنم
وغلقت أبواب جهنم
وغلقت أبواب جهنم
وسلسلت
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 الشياطين
الشياطين
وسلسلت الشياطين
وسلسلت الشياطين.
حديث أبي هريرة
حديث أبي هريرة
رضي الله عنه
رضي الله عنه
قال رسول الله
قال رسول الله
صلى الله عليه وسلم
صلى الله عليه وسلم
إذا دخل شهر رمضان
إذا دخل شهر رمضان
فتحت أبواب السماء
فتحت أبواب السماء
وغلقت أبواب جهنم
وغلقت أبواب جهنم
وسلسلت الشياطين.
وسلسلت الشياطين.
Right, Abu Amin, give me the translation of hadith, please. Narrate Abu Hurairah
that the doors of
the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
said that the doors
when the month
when the month of Ramadan appears, the doors of the heavens are open and the doors of Jahannam are closed and the demons are tied down.
Time, I sent. Other Harun. In English. Narrate Abu Hurairah. Radiallahu the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
When the month of Ramadan enters, the gates of Jannah is open, the gates of Jahannam is closed, and the demons are tied down.
Right, I sent. Before Abu Ibrahim leaves, inshallah, give us a benefit of truth in this hadith. Inshallah.
We learn from the great fadl of this month of Ramadan is that the doors of Jahannam are closed. What does this signify? This signifies that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy is increased upon us during this month. فتحت أبواب السماء وغلقت أبواب جهنم. All of the doors of heavens are open, and all the doors of the Jahannam are closed, and the shayateen are chained down. This shows us that out of Allah's mercy for us in this month and His wishing and wanting for us good is that He chains down the shayateen who are constantly whispering into the chest of mankind, telling us to do wrong, guiding us to sin, making it easy for us to do that which is wrong and hard for us to do that which is right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chained them down, chained them up away from us, so we can have a clear heart and a clear mind when coming into this month of Ramadan. And I would like to ask the Mufti first, and the brothers, inshallah, I have somewhere I need to go. Astagfirullahaladzim, inshallah. If I can
Take permission to leave. Can he go out on or no? You gotta continue talking.
Jazakumullah khair.
You gotta mention the name. Right, unfortunately, you have to listen to me now. The first hadith, Salaam Rahmatullah, Ayakullah Nafis, Jazakallah Khair, Barakallah Feek, Wafaqakumullah. Says, narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when the month of Ramadan comes, the first day or the first night,
First night.
First night. The night comes before the day in Islam?
Yes.
What's the proof for that? What's the dalil for that amr? What's the dalil that the night comes first? That's what I mean. Follow that. What's your name? Ma'moon. MashaAllah. Follow.
Allah subhanahu in the Quran, He mentions that the day, He skins the day, and underneath the day is light. So we understand that the actual meat is a night, and the days is the cover.
Right. Mumkin. Possibly. Question. Abu Sa'id. Abu Jassim. Why are you hiding? SubhanAllah, Shaykh. That was perfect cover too. MashaAllah. Right. Is there a verse in the Quran in which Allah mentions the day before the night? Allah talks about the day and the night in the Quran. He mentioned a cover, a means of rest, so on and so forth. Is there a verse in which Allah says, An-Nahar wal-Layl? Or is it always night and the day? Good question. What do you think? Abu Sa'id. The night is always first. Every verse or most of the verses? That's what we said. It may be a verse which you may not remember at the time. Most of the verses Allah says, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ What does Allah say? عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ What comes first in that surah? عَنِ النَّبِي الْعَظِيمِ الَّتِي فِيهِ كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ أَلَمْ هَذَا وَالْجِبَالَ يلا وخلقناكم وجعلنا Allah mentioned what first?
The night.
The night first. Allah mentioned what?
Night.
The night first. Right. This could possibly be a proof. However, there lies no doubt that the night comes ahead with regards to the lunar calendar because you see the moon at night. That's a clear, simple proof. We went too far ahead. Islam, like some other religions or some other cultures, is based off of a solar or lunar calendar. Lunar calendar. Based off of the moon cycle. So therefore the night has to come first. Right? So we make tarawih before there's fasting. Okay. So from this hadith of Hanif, when the month of Ramadan has entered, instantly, immediately, as soon as Ramadan, three things happen. Gates of paradise are, it says, futihat. And it doesn't say futihat. But in the Arabic language, it says futihat. It is more emphasis placed. That they are opened up, totally open. Okay? Because this type of verb is not the normal average verb. The verb to open something up is fataha. Okay? And then you have fataha. It's difference. So three things happen as soon as Ramadan comes in. Number one, gates of paradise open up. Number two, the gates of the hellfire are closed. And Allah doesn't, it says, similar. They're shut, fast and tight. وَسُلْسِلَتْ. In the shayateen, the hadith doesn't say that the devils are kept back. The devils are put in their place. The devils take a break. The Prophet ﷺ tells us, وَسُلْسِلَتْ. He says they are what? They are chained down. Can't get loose. Can't break free. And it says in another narration, وَسُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. They're put in what? In fetters. Manacles. Locked and held down. Clear on this. Yalla ta'ala Zakriya. You have a spot for you. So therefore, we benefit from this hadith. As Abu Ibrahim mentioned, this hadith shows us that during this month, Allah gives us extra mercy. And Allah is already Ghafur Rahim. Khayrul Ghafirin. Arhamur Rahimin. Okay? Allah is the most merciful to us all of the time. Inna Allah bin Nasi Ra'ufur Rahim. Allah is Rahim, Ra'uf, compassionate. But during the month of Ramadan, it's special. It's more. And we take a comparison or similitude from this from two of Allah's names. From Allah's names is what? What's one of Allah's names? We don't know none of Allah's names. Ar-Rahman. Yalla, fine. Ar-Rahman. Right. Hassan, good job, Hassan. Allah's name is Ar-Rahim. What is the difference between these two names of Allah? What is the difference between Ar-Rahman and Rahim? You can both render them in English to be merciful. Is there a difference?
Yes.
Mahmoud, what's the difference?
Ar-Rahman has more emphasis.
Ar-Rahman is more emphasis.
Ar-Rahman is the mercy that all of creation gets, while Ar-Rahim are those that's specific to the believers.
Right. Sheikh Saladin,
I was just sliding through
what you feel? Your instinct, Sheikh.
about the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, the names are Rahman and Rahim. Is there a difference?
One is translated like beneficent, and the other is merciful. Merciful being where you can forgive as a mercy. So all we should forgive the mercy.
Right. Focus. Anyone else? Anyone else give it a shot in the back? In the white shirt. Nah. What's your name, Akeem? Huh? Muazzin? Muazzin. Right. What's the difference between Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim? Give it a shot. Anything. Right. Nah, you Akeem. Yes. What's your name, Akeem? What's your name? Muazzin? What do you think is the difference between those two names? Right. Anyone else will give it a shot? Sheikh Mahdi. Salam alaikum.
It's similar. I agree with the brother was saying.
What I mean?
Yeah, but it's also like the sun is shining. Like our Rahman is like the sun shine on everybody, on everything, good or bad.
Okay.
You know, but Rahim is like a special.
It's like special type of
special
benefit.
type.
But Bismillah. Yalla. Bismillah. Stand billah. Seek help from Allah. Alright? Saladin? Absolutely. Seek help from Allah. Fadl. Some of the best players, not to go off the topic, but to make a comparison in real life, something we can relate to. My coach is sitting here, and basketball. You can tell us, some of the best players were rookies that were put in the game when they weren't prepared.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you got time to shine. Main star gets hurt, gets injured, something, you're in. Take off your jacket, but I didn't warm up. Bismillah. Right or wrong? Is this not the case? I'm saying? Some of the best people came. If you knew the statistics of some of the greats in basketball that were overlooked in the draft, that won the bench years out of their career until they shine and blossom. Right? Bismillah. الفرق بين الرحمن والرحيم هل بينهما فرق؟ وإذا كان ما هو الفرق؟ الذي يحضر
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. From the question, what is the difference between Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim? I'm trying to shot, inshallah. Ar-Rahman, it's more general, and Ar-Rahim, it's more specific.
Right. So, like similar to what the brother said, that even the non-Muslims get mercy from Allah? Even a mushrik? And only Muslims get Ar-Rahim? Right. Okay, when you eat, what do you say? Bismillah. Bismillah or Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? Bismillah ar-Rahim. What do you say?
I say Bismillah.
Bismillah. That's correct.
Allah knows best.
Sheikh, you want to give it a shot? Is there a difference between Allah's name Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim? You don't think so? Right. We say that there are the following interpretations of the people of knowledge with regards to these two names. The first interpretation is what you mentioned. Rahmanun, or not even that. We say Ar-Rahman or Rahman, to all of creation, Rahim to the believers. That's the first interpretation. Second interpretation, Allah is Rahman in the worldly life, Rahim in hereafter. And the third interpretation is that Ar-Rahman is what you call, is an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all of the time. Allah is always Rahman. Allah is always merciful, benevolent, beneficent, kind, and gracious to His slaves all of the time. When we speak about, pay attention, it's very important. When we speak about Allah's names and attributes, Allah has names and attributes. Some of those attributes, sifat dhatiyah. an attribute of Allah Himself that Allah always has. Allah always had, like Allah will always have. Pay attention, pay attention. Don't allow Amplifiers to distract you. Do not allow Amplifiers to mislead you from the path. The path is here, not here. Go ahead. The second type of, another type of attribute called sifa fi'liya. Is an attribute of Allah that pertains to Allah's mashiyah, when Allah wills. When Allah wants, then He gives us say this. When Allah wills, He legislates that. And there's some of Allah's attributes that Allah always has. An example of this is Allah's anger, al-ghadab. Anger is not a constant attribute of Allah. Anger is an attribute of Allah when a slave does something that makes him angry. We don't say Allah is be angry. Allah is always angry. We don't say that. But Allah is always merciful. Okay? Allah is always merciful. Okay, so some scholars say that the rahmah, the mercy that pertains to that name Ar-Rahman, is all of the time. And the Rahim is specifically, He endows it, He gives it when and to whom He wants, how He wants. Okay? Whether this or whether that, the benefit of knowing these things. And from the most beneficial things for the Muslim, the name in Muslim, the student of knowledge, the learned man, from the most beneficial things is to know the proper understanding of Allah's names and attributes. There is nothing more beneficial for you than that. To know the names and the qualities of your Lord. And this is something, unfortunately, that's often neglected. How many classes have we had in Abu Hanif? Just on Allah's names and attributes. Not creed, this, not creed, that. A class just on Allah's asma wa sifat. Allah.
Wallahi, I've never been to any in New York.
Not one, how long you been Muslim?
My whole life.
That's a problem. That will help us. Right. Next hadith, please. Hadith al-Ilaimin.
حديث عبد الله بن عمر أن رسول الله رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر رمضان فقال لا تصوموا حتى تروا الهلال ولا تفطروا حتى تروه فإن غم عليكم فاقدروا له أخرجه البخاري في
Next hadith, which we don't have time to explain in detail, because I know your name is soon. I don't know your brothers are hungry, thirsty. May Allah accept your worship. Ameen.
Ameen.
Allah accept it from all of you and bless you and reward you with Ameen.
Ameen wa yak.
But don't forget what we're doing right now, reading these hadith, going back and forth, participating in class, is worship. It's worship, okay? As I cannot remember who it was someone from the people of the past. He had a student, okay? And he says, come and read this hadith together. And he was sitting down, he was reading, I believe he was reading the Quran. Or making tasbih, he was making dhikr of Allah. Okay, he was remembering Allah. So he looked at his shaykh like how I'm going to stop this to go read hadith. And he says, what you're about to stand up and do is no less, is not inferior to what you're sitting down and doing. In other words, seeking knowledge is an act of worship. Learning and studying in itself is ibadah. Rather, it is from, if not the best act of worship. Because it is an act of worship that leads to other acts of worship. It is an act of worship that benefits and saves and rescues people. You pray, fast, that's for yourself. Making hajj for yourself. But seeking ilm of the sunnah, teaching people the hadith, that is something that Allah, how far that knowledge may go. Okay, and I'll stop. Uncle Faz, last summer, we took that trip in New Jersey to the brother's house. We had a housewarming type of thing. Or was it the summer before last? Summer before last. We went there, I didn't know anybody there at the place. Uncle Faz invited me to go speak. The brother had got a new house, he wanted somebody to speak. Okay? Islamic housewarming, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know anybody there. I was sitting down about to eat some food, and an old lady, she walked up to me. And I think she was Guyanese. I didn't know her, I never saw her. The chances of me having any type of contact with her, Allah. She walked up to me and she said, Assalamu alaikum, brother. She said, I saw your video on YouTube about the Prophet's prayer described. She said, I never knew the proper way to pray was like this and like that. I never knew the hadith about raising your hands and so on and so on and so forth. The highlight point from the story is what? You don't know where that knowledge that you give will land. And you don't know whose life is going to change. And you don't know what person they're going to benefit from the ilm that you spread. And it's just one story, okay? And I'm not saying it's bragging and boasting, it's just a reality. I walk down the street sometime in Medina. Somebody may stop and say, I saw your YouTube video. I saw your video that you did on such and such. I learned this. And I don't even know these people. I never contacted them. I never requested them to watch any videos. The highlighting point is that knowledge, realize that God is at the top. It's the pinnacle. Because you benefit yourself, you learn yourself, and you pass on to others. And as a wise man once said, a good friend of mine, older brother, he says, at the end of the day, knowledge will prevail. Right, Sheikh Mahdi? He said, knowledge will prevail no matter what. It's going to prevail at the end of the day. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to accept our ibadah,
Ameen.
and increase us in beneficial knowledge and righteous actions in this month, Ameen. If there are any questions, we'll try to take them in the second session after the iftar. Maybe it's a couple minutes before the adhan now. Zakariya will help you out with your questions, inshallah. Any questions on Hanif? No more, any questions? You have an opportunity. No questions. Right? That will mean
Hunger.
Hunger, huh? What are we going to eat?
What's the
Alhamdulillah.